Let's hit it. And welcome to Alzheimer Speaks Radio. I'm your host, Lori LeBay, and I'm so excited that you're joining us today. We are going to have a fascinating conversation as usual as we learn from people all around the world at all ages and stages of life. Stay tuned as we shift our dementia care from crisis to comfort. All right, here we go. What you think about, you will bring about. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Alzheimer Speaks Radio. I'm your host, Lori LeBay, and this was created because my mom lived with dementia for 30 years. Yep, you heard me right, 30 years. And so I think it's really important for all of us to learn to share our stories. It's one of the best ways for people to be able to learn about the disease, raise awareness, give comfort and insight, so it makes the next person's journey just a little bit easier. Now, our opening music was called Clarion Call. It's by the Mark Arneson Band, and you can download that on any of your favorite music platforms if you'd like. And for those of you that are new to Alzheimer Speaks, we are about giving you sound information, not just sound bites. We want to dive deep and raise all voices, big and small, from those diagnosed to those that care and serve, to advocates, researchers, film directors, musicians, and more. And you can call in and join the conversation today because we are doing an open mic. And that number is 323-870-4602. That's 323-870-4602. Now, we've got a couple of people in the pipeline, but feel free to call in, and we will pull you in as we go. You can listen to the show if you call in, or you can just go to our radio page as well there and listen via your computer if you like. Now, I always like to give a shout-out to some organizations, and first and foremost is Memory Cafe Directory. I just believe so strongly in memory cafes and the way they help people living with dementia and those that care for them come together, meet a new circle of peers, and they really talk about all of life. And it's not just dementia focused. So if you haven't checked out the memorycafedirectory.com, I would suggest that you do that. We've got almost 1,000 of them that we know of in the U.S., but sad to say, just a little over 100 that have gone virtual. And if you go to that website, memorycafedirectory.com, look for Cafe Connect. That will point you to all of them that are virtual. Now, I do one that's virtual, and like many, anybody can join us. And mine is called Arthur's Memory Cafe. We do it on the second and the fourth Wednesday of each month at 1 o'clock Central Time. And like I said, this week, in fact, it's tomorrow, we've got a couple of people joining us virtually, and really excited about that, having some newcomers and new faces. It's always fun to hear new stories. So check out Memory Cafe Directory. Also, the Dementia Map is really growing. That's the global resource directory that Dave Wiedrich and myself developed. It is just amazing, some of the resources, products, and tools that you will find on there. So check out check out dementiamap.com. And if you're interested in joining, maybe you've got a resource, product, or tool that you want to share, I would be more than glad to give you a personal tour of that. There's, on the right-hand side, there's a big tour button. Just click on that. We can set up a time. Otherwise, if you're ready to go, just click on the join, and you will be off and running. It's just wonderful to see all the great resources that are coming online. And then last, I want to give a shout out to Coral Health. They are still being so gracious at allowing people to download their app. They have two of them, Music First and Choral Faith, that they are allowing people to download free. And that is just an incredible, gracious thing that they are doing. So check them out. Go to coro.com for more information. We're going to hear from the Footbar Walker, and we'll be right back.
Introducing the life-changing Footbar Walker.
I'm Peggy from Danville, Kentucky, and I'm 91 years old. The Footbar Walker revolutionized my care of George. The saving that I made from having to put him in a nursing home came to about $192,000. The Footbar Walker opens and closes just like a standard walker. The only thing that is different is the top bar and the foot bar. Does that ever make a difference?
Does someone you love use a walker? Do they struggle to get up from a seated position? Are you a caregiver dealing with physical pain and stress as you help your patient? The Footbar Walker was designed to assist not only the patient, but also the caregiver. Patients have more control standing up, and no lifting from the caregiver is required. See how it works at thefootbarwalker.com. That's thefootbarwalker.com. Peggy, would you recommend the Footbar Walker?
Do I ever? I would not be in the health that I'm in today at this age had it not been for the Footbar Walker.
I absolutely love that Footbar Walker, I got to tell you. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pull in, I know Julio's on the line. So, Julio, let me get you live here. And why don't you give us an update on what all you are doing in the world of Parkinson's? So, welcome to the show, Julio.
Gracias, Lori. Thank you for the invitation. I think it's really important to let people that Alzheimer, dementia, or Parkinson, or any name that doctor provide to us can happen anytime, can happen anyone. So I don't have any idea that I have Parkinson 12 years ago, and I never thought I would have Parkinson. So something like this is not something like happen to specific people. Can happen anyone, anytime. So we need to be aware more about this disease or this neurological problem. When our Parkinson group, we call only one family. We have people with member with Alzheimer, dementia, or Parkinson. So we are working together. I believe that we are the data the doctor collect in one book to work with that. So when we come together, 3 or 4 or 5, we share a lot of information. When somebody more than 3, more than 5 share what they know, how they live with the disease, it's a lot of information that can help to us. Now we are in our Parkinson group. We have a partnership with one radio station who is in UK. So now we go with our service, church Sundays, live from Woodland, California, all the way to UK, 6 p.m. in the afternoon. That's something amazing for our Parkinson community who does believe in another healing way to how they're looking for. We are open mind. We are always open mind. I believe it's only one brain. I believe it's only one disease. So Alzheimer, dementia, or Parkinson, I think it's only one problem. And then we need to stay together. Only if we stay together, we can push each other. We speak the same language. When somebody with Parkinson tell me how they feel, I understand how they feel. And when somebody with dementia, somebody with Parkinson, how they feel, or Alzheimer, we know what that means because we live in the same way. We feel the same food treasure, we feel the same pain, but in the same way, we have the same hope. It's a lot of we're not sentenced. It's a lot of hope. It's a lot of more things good to do for our life. So doing great. I think we're doing great and amazing. We have Zoom sketches Saturday. We invite people with Parkinson, real people with Parkinson, who they show us how they live in more than 40 years with Parkinson. It's amazing how they can motivate to others. So I think the best that we can do is motivate others, and then and that way we're going to be more stronger.
Now, your group is called Living with Parkinson's Daily, and that is, again, your group that meets on Saturday. And it's a very interesting group because you invite speakers from all around the world to talk about Parkinson's. I've been to a couple of your meetings and was really impressed with the information and the variety of people, and then the span across the world of who is joining you. How did you get that started, Julio?
It was an amazing. I when I was diagnosed with the Parkinson's disease, my doctor told me that I have Parkinson's. That's something that I never expected. So I feel so lonely. I feel so in a room by myself. And then I tried to jump in Facebook, try to look for some people with Parkinson's. There was many regulations on Facebook. You cannot say this, you cannot say that, you cannot talking about this, you cannot talking about that. So too many regulations. So I create only one group with only one rules, which is respect. We need to respect each other, our beliefs. We need to respect each other, our ideas, and that's how we do. And then I start with 19 members. Now we are almost 355 around the world. We have people around Africa. We have Iceland, New Zealand, UK, Denmark, England, Germany, Brazil, Argentina. We're more than 87 countries in the group. And then it is interesting when we try to show our people how somebody in Germany live with Parkinson. So they need to, we understand more about difference, we understand more about economic situation. When you spoke with somebody in Africa, so sometimes we complain that we don't have one medication on time. So they don't have any medication for dealing with Parkinson in Africa, in Uganda, and Kenya. So I don't know. So just I opened the page, and people come and talk each other, and then we're a family. We're a family. We believe in each other. That's the most important thing, and we support each other. That's the most important thing too.
Wonderful. Well, that's fantastic. Well, thank you for calling in, Julio. I really appreciate you sharing it. Again, his group is called Living with Parkinson's Daily. You can find him on Facebook and connect that way if you are interested. Wonderful, wonderful information. Let me see who we've got on the line next. We've got somebody with a 3179 number. Who am I speaking with now? 3179?
Lisa Hirsch.
How you doing, Lisa?
I'm doing good. How are you, Lori?
I am doing very, very well, and I just want to extend my sympathies on the loss of your mother. You've done just an amazing job in caring for her long distance, in writing your book, your tributes to her, and so forth. What do you have up your sleeve now, Lisa?
That's an interesting way of putting it. You know what? You look out in the universe and you see what's wanted and needed. And I just wrote, I didn't post it yet, my tribute to my mom. So I'm going to say my last post for my blog, but may not be my last. I never, all these years I've never spoke like I'm a caregiver to tell you this and that. I can just go from my own experiences, and especially, as you said, a long-distance caregiver. But anyway, so after my mom passed away, which for me was a relief, for 3 years I prayed for her to pass away, to go to sleep, to have some peace. And it's interesting, like I just cried more while she was alive than after. I miss her. I love her, and I'm so glad that she's at peace. Anyway, so and this is interesting. Whoever's listening may not know me, but I had this wonderful condolence message from Virginia Bigger from Us Against Alzheimer's. And I thought it was really interesting because what she wrote was she thanked me for being, which Lori, you and I go back so many years, a pioneer, and that how I spoke from honesty and truth when people wouldn't speak out. So I've been doing this since like 2011, 2013. Anyway, so there's all these different groups where people share, wonderful groups all over Facebook. You know them, I know them. They're wonderful. And it was like, for me, it was what is out there, what's needed and wanted. And what I started, but it's not
me. People are thanking me. It's not me. I started a group for everybody, anybody who has a family, it could be a friend, a loved one who passed away from any form of dementia. And interesting, I called it Alzheimer's Memorial Group, and when I did that, Lori, I thought of you, because I know that when you first started out with Alzheimer's Speak Radio, we talked about how you had said, I wish I had maybe called it dementia. So anyway, it's unless, like my husband looks at me when I say this, unless Facebook takes this down, it's here to stay forever. And what it is for anyone that would like to post a picture, a bunch of pictures of someone that they love that passed away from any form of dementia. And if they want to share a memory or a tribute to them, it's there. So it's this, just started. There's 444 people that are already on it, loads of people putting photos, and then I stated, it's not me. I'm not doing anything with it unless someone did something that should not be posted on Facebook or on anything. I'll then delete it as a minister, but that's it. I'm not here to do anything else with it other than to give everyone a page, a place for them to share something that they want to share. If they don't want to share, then they won't share. So that's what I'm up to.
Well, that's wonderful. I think that will give people a lot of peace, and just kind of that living memorial, I think, is really important. When I do my talks and stuff, I talk about, how doctors kind of tell you to prepare for the end, but I really tell people to prepare and build a living memorial. Notice those brilliant moments that you might have passed by before, and capture them in some format. If that is, if it's a poem, if it's a picture, if it's a video, if it's an audio, if it's just a scribble to yourself, or a full-blown story. But, capture those things, because those are the things that you're going to want to hold tight to afterwards. And as the journey progresses, those little moments of joy, I think, are really, really important for us to grab a hold of and be part of. Yeah,
but a little differently. I mean, I have loads of photos from my mother, and I have so many videos of that make me laugh and smile, and then there's a few that could be a little sadder, but so much like where I saw her innocence. But I think the contribution of this page is on most of the groups. I mean, if you see what people, I could ask questions, or what can you do about this, or the first UTI and acting out, and then a lot of people just post my mother or my father when their wings, they took their wings, they're in heaven. But so I just think it's not a collection of anyone's momentums, but a place to. It's like, I don't want to say a cemetery. But a memorial, I think is really the right word for it.
Yep. And now is that site up and running, or will that be part of your blog, or how do people?
No, and I'm not linking it to anything. No, it's called Alzheimer's Memorial Group.
Okay.
And like I said, I kind of should have done Dementia Memorial Group, but because it's in honor of my mother, because it's in honor of her, and she had Alzheimer's, I called it Alzheimer's. But I'll tell you, I mean, this is what the page says. Let me just get to it. And I will continue in a few weeks to post again. I won't say I'm starting, but that's how I spread things around. I wrote, I'm starting this new group for anyone who would like to honor, share a memory of a loved one who has passed away from any form of dementia. And this is the most important line to me. This group belongs to all of us. And I wrote, this is in honor of my mom, Ruth Elliott, who passed away February 5th, 2021, after 16 years of suffering from Alzheimer's disease. So that's what it is. It's for everybody.
Yep. Well, that's fantastic, and I think that's how things grow and people share. I think that's a brilliant piece to be able to do. So I'm going to go ahead and I think Kate is on the line. Kate Lau. Let me just see. Kate, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yes,
Hi,
ma'am.
Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Julia. My name is Kate Lau. I live in Illinois.
Kate.
Hi, I've heard of your name, and I actually was looking at your book. And yes, I said, hey, Laurie, I know this name. She's famous, right? She's somebody famous.
Yeah.
I actually offered it as an ebook free last week, and the second one I'm going to do in a week or two.
Oh,
if you have if you can download an ebook.
I can. See, I live alone now, and I was just thinking, what am I going to do with all my books? Donate them? What? So I said, I'm not going to have books in this place, so I'm going to start reading ebooks. And I've just started reading ebooks, and it's so nice to not be able to worry about boxes of books, So,
so I've been reading ebooks for years, and my husband, who's an avid reader, who really loves literature, he won't get rid of books. He goes to the library. Even now that COVID, though, he can go pick up books again. He picks up books. He loves to feel them and touch them.
Yes.
So don't let him hear about us.
Yes, and the smell of books and the leafing through the books, the touch, the texture, that's why I had so many books. And now, it's got to go. We have curbside pick up at the library, and the girls that pick them up. And they're so afraid
Lily,
of me.
where do you live? Where do you live?
I live in Champaign, Illinois, University of Illinois. Okay.
I live in New York City.
Pardon me?
I live in New York City.
Oh, yeah.
In Manhattan.
Been to New York.
Yeah.
Oh, in Manhattan. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I heard you saying about you cried more when your mom was alive than you did after she passed. And that's what happened in February of this year. My ex-mother-in-law, who's a very good friend of mine, she passed. And I have behavior variant frontotemporal lobe dementia. And many, many people were looking at me like, hey, hello. What is, even my pastor was looking at me. What on earth is her problem? She just stood there by the casket, stared and stared and stared, and people are crying, and after that she turned around and walked out. And the family were all looking at me. But they did not know that I have no empathy, because that is part of the symptoms of frontotemporal lobe. But when I was with her at the hospital, I could empathize, but I did not cry either. I cannot cry. See, that's
do you think you're blocking it? Because I'm in a similar place. Do you feel like you're blocking the emotion?
No, it's a blunted emotion, but then it's just constant. You don't mean to block it, but it's one of the symptoms. And I just could not feel. But then I did kiss her, and I know I love her. And she knew I loved her. Her last word to me was, I love you. And how nice is that? But I could not feel, and I felt terrible after that. Oh, my goodness, I could not feel. And when you go to a memorial, mostly there's people crying and all that, and they all knew that I was very close to her. But they do not want to understand. I've been trying to tell them that it's different than Alzheimer's, but they're not interested. So, well, it's on them. They don't want to be educated. So yes, I understand. I felt like, well, I told myself, I think I read it somewhere, that she's just going to the other room. She's just going to I'm going to see her again. That's all I could think about. It's not that far, and that helped. That helped it, because I could not empathize with the rest of the group, and it comes to the point where I'm not going to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't feel." It's almost like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I have BVFDD." I used to apologize. I don't anymore. She's not suffering. That's all I can think about.
That's really key to, I think, what you're saying or what you're feeling. Right, Lori?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I just wrote a blog post that I'm going to post probably either tomorrow or next week. But one of the lines in it, Lily, is as I reminisce, I realize that I want to celebrate my mom's life and not her passing.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, and that's such a healthy way to be able to frame it. And everyone goes through the process of grief, different levels and different times, which is totally fine. But yeah, when you can get to that place about not where it's not pulling you down, but it's lifting you up in terms of, gosh, how lucky was I, to have known this person and to be part of their life, and I think so often.
Also, not to like worry about them anymore.
Yes.
That they're at peace.
Yep.
I mean, it goes back to my mother, if her wishes, her directive could have been followed in the state of Florida, she would have passed on 3 years ago. When everything that she stated, which we try to get, the nursing home wouldn't do it. They said it's against, a Florida lawyer did it. So her wishes were not to be alive the way she was anymore. So that was like really a very difficult part for me as her daughter, and trying to give her wishes. I wasn't able to. So she's at peace, and I don't have to worry about her anymore. It's your mother. I mean, it's my mother, but I'm right now for me, and I don't know, Lori and Lily, where it will go, but right now for me is I'm so okay with her being at peace that it's opened up for me a space to feel relieved. And I'm not going to use the word happy, but happy for her. Yes, happy for her.
Good.
Well, she's still a part of you, and you're always a part of her, because you are having a memorial for her, something written for her, and she's still so much a part of your life. She's still alive in you, in that you are doing all these things. Yes. But in a different way. Now you can write about her life. Whereas when she was alive, you were taking care of her. And now you can write about the times you had with her.
I think the last thing I wrote, I think is going to be my last piece. I mean, like, my books were writing. My relationship, my mother did not really become unconditionally loving until after she got ill. It's an interesting relationship. So 16 years ago is when I got close with my mom, really close. And before that, we could go at it with each other. So it opened up for me. That's the other thing. Some people I know when their parent, when I was in a support group at the Alzheimer's, there were a bunch of, actually all women there. Could have been a man that joined, but there weren't. And they shared that they lost their mother, their best friend. They used to call their mother every day. Their mother was alive, but that they couldn't share with them and talk to them and tell them these things. And I was coming from a different position. I all of a sudden had a mother that I just adored, that I just got just like anything she said was like so warm and loving, and so I was letting her in, not feeling like I lost a mother.
Wow, that's so encouraging, because I have a daughter. Oh my goodness. She's a bit difficult, and she hasn't talked to me in years. She saw me at Grandma's funeral, and then she came to me, and she just gave me a long, long hug, and she walked away. And hopefully we will have some kind of I don't believe in really closure. We will have some kind of not really a deep relationship, but at least we will talk. We will, the grandkids will get to know me. And that would be great. Hearing that you had somewhat of a challenging relationship, and then you became so very close.
But what's interesting is I've had friends say to me, two very close friends, that said to me, maybe your mother was always like this and you just never saw it. That maybe my mother was, all the things that I fell in love with my mother after she got ill, was maybe that's who my mother was, but I was too busy, which would relate to your daughter, finding these things that bothered me about my mother, that I didn't like about my mother, that my mother was righteous, that we would bunk heads, and yet our personalities, I hate to say, were similar in a lot of ways. And it was her getting ill that she became, I thought, different. She wasn't as argumentative, or she wasn't as righteous.
Well,
I don't know.
They say sometimes that what we see in other people is what we don't like in ourselves, but we don't necessarily know.
They say, amen. Amen to that.
Absolutely. I actually recognize some of my own, the good things about me in her. No, I mean,
So is there an open, is there, if, I feel a little bad, Lily, in the sense of, have you reached out to your daughter, and she's not responsive to it?
No, yeah, I kept on, when my grandkids had birthdays, I would send them, or graduation, high school graduation, I'd send them cards and, money, and now they're in high school, I went like, hey, they're not saying thank you. That means they're still afraid of their mom. So I don't want to cause any more problems. One day they can choose. See, either they want to see me or they don't. My daughter has a very strong personality. If she says no, her husband won't do anything, neither will her grandkids, and that's how she manipulated me, and that's how she got away with it, because she's so strong. Actually, she's so weak. I mean, she's so strong. Yes.
Well, family dynamics are very powerful, and it's kind of like walking on eggshells, because no matter how much you want to address something, it's like, you think of the ramifications, and you think further out than just yourself in terms of who all is this going to affect, and it sounds like that's the angle that you're looking at it, which I totally understand. And it's just, family's just not easy all the time to work with. I still, since my dad died in 2001, my mom in 2014 from dementia, and I mean, we really just don't talk at all anymore. And my older brother and I were never overly close, but my younger brother and I were always really close, and it's just it's awkward now. It's different. And you kind of go, why? What happened? What changed? But it's that link, that kind of parental link, that even though she was living with dementia for many, many years, she still was holding us together as a family. There was some kind of link there, and that link is missing now. And it's all changed.
Guilt? Is there guilt there, Laurie? That you were the one that was taking of Mom, and then now, they look back and then they feel like, they were not there? No?
It could be that. It could be resentment that I was there too. Some people would rather be resentful of someone else than to feel guilt and acknowledge their own feelings, in terms of why. It's hard to say, It's just very, very different. Very, very different. And I think, not all families experience that, but a lot of families do. And everybody grieves a little bit differently and processes things a little differently, and we have to respect that in the process as well. I'm hearing somebody rummaging around someplace in the background. I don't know if that's you, Kate, or if that's Lisa.
I'm hearing you on the phone. It's my husband opening an Amazon package.
Aha! Yeah, we're picking them up.
Okay,
funny.
Sorry. He came in the room to get a scissor. Sorry.
Okay. That's okay. That's a real life, in today's age. I'm going to just pull Julio in. He's still on the line here, and see if there's anything he wants to add to this conversation about, family dynamics and loss. Julio,
it was great hearing what he does.
Yeah, he's
Thank
a little
you.
powerhouse. You're a little
Thank
powerhouse.
You, ladies. I think listening to you, it is something like people don't realize that any disease affecting the whole family. And when you are diagnosed with Alzheimer, dementia, Parkinson's, it's not only affecting you, it's affecting your family, it's affecting your close friends, your community. Even your church, your church is affecting everybody. So everybody is affected. So now you will see who really love you, who really going to stay next to you, who really know. But I lost my mom when I was only 5 years old. I'm 56. I've been living with my mom for 50 years. And then she died by cancer. And then I still missing her. And I still missing her sometimes, especially when you need mom, at that time when you need mom. All that I can tell you, everybody, right now is that we need to build memories. We need to build good memories. Build good memories for the family, for our friends, but for our members in the family that are suffering with this. It is not easy. It is not easy. Nobody can tell it is easy, but all that I can say is that we are not alone. We are strong. We are more than one. We are a community. And sometimes we need to, that's what I'm saying, that's what I speak to our people in Parkinson. I say, we speak the same language. People that have Alzheimer, dementia, Parkinson, they don't understand what we're talking about. They don't understand. But when we have something in common, we understand exactly what you're talking about. I understand, I feel what you're talking about right now. That made me feel like I part of this, So, but I'm really, I don't know, it's a really motivation for me to just keep going. I think we know that the end is coming. We know that. I think the end is coming for everybody at any time. So just build memories. Build good memories. So you want to be remembered for what you did, for what you do, right? For your family, your community, your friends, and then people with disease around the world, they need us. They really, really, really need us. Go out there, reach somebody, helping them, support them, telling them how we're doing. So that's the best thing that I can do, and I think it's the best thing that we can do. So thank you, ladies, for the conversation. Really, really a pleasure for me listening to you. It's a motivation for me.
Great, thank you, Julio. Lisa, one thing that I wanted to ask you was I as we were chatting here, I pulled up the Alzheimer's Memorial Group, and I've seen you've grown to 444 people already, and I know that you just started this. How and there's lots and lots of pictures that have been submitted, but how do people submit them? Because I'm not seeing. Oh, here it is. Create a post. It wasn't showing before, so I was like, how are they getting them on there? But,
I don't know. I was going to ask you.
Yeah, no,
because I just see the pictures come up. You know, it's like, okay. So you saw a link, a button.
Yeah, it's on there now. Once you become a member, maybe when I clicked it, it just took a little while because there wasn't that create a post. So once you're a member, you can create a post. And people, I mean, there's just a ton of great pictures here, and talking about their loved ones and things. So this is amazing that you started this page so shortly ago, and you are getting this kind of response. So this is fantastic. It is filling a need.
Yeah, and like I said, it's nothing. It's if people make comments, I've been making comments or clicking the care. I wish they put another thing on it, but yeah, I think it's if you look at all the different groups that have been around, that are around, that have 5,000 loads of members or whatever. It's just like I actually, Lori, I know we have heard and I've seen pictures of your mom. I mean, like, I want you to put a picture. I mean, you're going to either do it or not do it, but just it's like, I don't know. I think it really is something for everybody. I mean, it's everybody's page. That's what I mean by everybody. This is not mine.
Yeah. No, and I will add something.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Kate.
Oh, before I forget, do you have a support group, Lisa, of your own?
No.
So
no.
What is this page that Lori's talking about?
Oh, it's called on Facebook. It's called the Alzheimer's Memorial Group, which I just started. But it's like when you just talked about your ex-mother-in-law.
Yes.
So it's for anyone that has any form of dementia that has passed away. It doesn't matter. It could be your next door neighbor. It's someone that someone feels a kinness to, a closeness to. And if they would like to post a picture or just a memory or a tribute to them. But what we're seeing, right, Lori, is like I think almost every single one, if you scroll down, has a picture or a few pictures.
Yep.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
Actually, Lori, so and everyone's name on it, so anyone can scroll and see. But one or two people put a video on, and it's like it's a place for people to have their loved one, whoever that loved one is.
Sure. Whoever.
It's like all these other groups that are around.
Yes.
People either are writing, my mother, was hallucinating, or, they're sharing what's going on. Does anyone, I just need to, vent,
sure.
Or does anyone know how to handle this?
Yes.
It's a different kind of thing. If people started posting, how do I do this, how do I do that, that's not what this is supposed to be. But the way I'm seeing them all come in now is people really understand what it is.
Mm-hmm. Do they attach a story to it, or a short paragraph or something about their loved ones?
I think, Lori, what would you say? It's not like a.
It's and I don't want to, because this is a private group, but people are saying something like, my mom passed away, and they'll maybe put the date, what age she was, and then what they felt, about the disease. Others are, they're celebrating life. Everyone's kind of in a different space. Some are putting older pictures of their loved ones. Some are putting recent ones. So there's no right or wrong, in terms of how you're dealing with this and what you want to share, publicly within this private group. So, but
yes.
it's nice.
Are you seeing, Lori? Are you seeing it as private?
Well, it says.
I thought I made it. I thought I made it public because someone. Are you seeing it as? I'm trying to find.
Well, let me look here because it says anyone can see who's in the group and what. Oh no, I take that back. It is. I thought I saw something earlier where it was private. So no, it is a public group.
No, because someone asked me, is it a public group or a private group? And I know, like all the groups that I've been on, are private.
Mm-hmm.
So I made it public, and I asked the person back, "No, it's a public group. Do you have an objection to that?" They never wrote me back about it, but.
No, and it says right under the group name that it is public. I don't know where I might have been on a different page when I was bouncing around.
Tell me though, do you find that it's like someone can post something on and be on a private group and post something that's not appropriate, and I think quote the administrator should be watching and they can take it down. So to me, I'll be checking on this. That's my involvement, is checking on it and making comments when I'd like to or not, or whatever. And if I see something inappropriate, then I'm going to take it down. But I didn't think of doing it as a private group, because if I'm saying it's open, I don't know every single person. As it will spread, and I believe it will ricochet and spread, that as it spreads, I don't know every person out there who has been affected by someone, passing away from dementia. And so, some of them ask you questions. Why do you want to join my group? And if this is everyone's page, then who am I to, filter it out? But yes, if anything is, actually Facebook is being a little tougher now on people anyway, right?
Yeah. Well,
they finally maybe woke up a little about it. So if I have any spies coming in here.
No, and I think, it does say it's public, and that is pretty clear. And, a lot of people have already published obituaries and, and that's public and stuff, when someone has passed. So I wouldn't be too concerned about it. I don't know. I must have gotten it confused with another page that I was on.
No, but please tell me if you think that it should be private, because I majorly respect you.
No, I love that it's public, actually. And the reason I do is because I think this is a world problem, and it needs the world's compassion, and it needs people to feel that they can be safe in that world too, and have a voice and talk about it, even if their journey is over. Some may continue on, some may drop out. Again, no right or wrong, but it's nice to have a place to honor your loved one and to honor that journey that you were on together. And I think it makes it easier for the next person in terms of, how they deal with it. And as the numbers grow, I think it'll just give more and more comfort to people as well, that they're not alone.
Well, I'm with a private group, and so there's several admins. I'm an admin in the group, so it's a private group. I'm normally with the FTD group because I know more about FTD, but I also do all the other groups. It's a private group, but on my Facebook group, I have a public group. That is my page. I make it public, and there are a lot of followers because they didn't know about early onset dementia. So I opened that to early onset, and I put it under early onset dementia. I put it under behavior variant. I put it under, hashtag this and that, and that's public. And I get questions, and it's okay to make it public if it's just your page out of Facebook. I think that benefits a lot of people.
Well, and I think too, this isn't a page where there's going to be typically a lot of conversation going back and forth. That's not how Lisa set it up. Where with other groups like Memory People and Forget Me Not and your groups and so many others, I mean, people are having very personal conversations, in those groups. And the most you can do is to allow people to know if it's public or not. And then they've got to make their decision and go from there. I do want to mention.
Is Memory People still around, Lori?
I don't know. I think so.
Yeah, I think they closed years ago.
No, they are
now
around.
That I'm thinking, because I used to post. They had a book one, so I used to put my book on it, and in the beginning, and I don't think they're even up and running anymore. And I actually thought about, I'm forgetting her name, who was his right hand.
Leanne.
Lovely. Leanne, lovely. Because I remember in the beginning I had to get permission to post my blog on it and my book on it. But I actually thought, because I thought about people that have pages like Forget Me Not and or Mac, that it's so wonderful that after all these years they're still here and still going. Harry
I just
and Norm.
pulled it up, and it's still, February 10th looks like it was the last posting on
Memory People?
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Memory People?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Rick Phelps and Leanne. And they also have their own radio show, I think, once a month.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. So it looks different, though, than it used to, because it looks like
they had
just their posting. It doesn't look like it's a conversation. From what I'm seeing here.
I see three things.
But that may have changed. I don't know. But it looks like it's just their post. But maybe that's all I can see, because that can be changed too. So it's hard to say. In groups of people have to be aware. Groups do evolve here, and that's okay. And one group might fit your needs, and then all of a sudden it might not anymore. And again, there's no right or wrong. You've got plenty of choices out there to be able to check out and things. So don't worry about that. It's good information to get and see what's what. I do want to mention a couple of things here. I got a couple of emails. One is from Maria Shriver's group, WHAM, and I just thought that I would mention this. She's got WHAM Weekly, Educate Your Brain and Empower Your Life, and in that she notes just some films that people might want to watch that are new films. One is called The Artist's Wife. The other is
the
called...
Artist's what? The Artist's Life, Life?
The Artist's Wife, wife, like husband and wife.
Oh, wife. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And the other one is called The Father. There's another one.
That?
It's The Father.
The father, like a mother father?
Yep.
Okay.
And then Falling, like falling down.
Okay.
It's called Falling. And then Supernova is out. And she just, mentioned that there's all of a sudden a lot of real poignant portrayals and stuff, on these. And it might be something that people want to check out on that.
Right.
So she's got kind of a Q&A question and answer. WHAM is Women Against Alzheimer's movement, and so she does a lot of really cool things there. So
I listened to this course that she presented. I think it was Science of Prevention it was like a 10-week thing a few months ago where someone spoke. Maybe it was someone spoke about a different thing every day, and now they keep sending, emails on it. It was interesting.
Yeah,
it could have been like on eating health. Yeah.
Yeah, she has
Well, I know
of
she's a big big fan of yours, right?
Yeah, well, and I'm a big fan of her. She's amazing.
Yeah,
so
well, I majorly admire her.
Yeah.
I wait for the Sunday paper every week. I read her Sunday paper,
and I love her Sunday paper.
Who is that? The professor. What's her name? She when dementia knocks or something. Have you read hers?
I have not. There's so many books out there compared to what there used to be.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Right.
Oh my.
No, she wrote little articles every Sunday. It's called When Dementia Knocks. It used to be called Dementia Land, and she changed the name of it. Very
I don't know, but Lori, I thought you might be interested. So my husband gave me an article from the Sunday New York Times, and it was all about people with dementia, Alzheimer's, and being in the nursing homes during COVID. And it was my mom, we got caught in that also. And I didn't even think of this, that people that were used to having a loved one come, how it stopped, and how they talked about like someone came to see their husband, look through the window, and the husband didn't understand why they wouldn't come in, and that some of the people were really afraid of seeing people with masks on, like the nurses or the aides. Yep. And they didn't. You can't. And even if you try, if they were still understanding everything, they didn't. And you told them, then they didn't remember why. And it was a little frightening. Things like I thought, like, wow, I never even thought about this stuff. It was really interesting, and also about they talked about how people in the nursing homes, people with dementia, are more apt to get COVID because also they putting a mask on them, they don't want to keep it on. I mean, I'm not sure something like that. Yeah, and they didn't understand it. And so I actually thought like I was glad that my mom was past then. That's the kind of things like, how scary, or like people just being shut down. And I thought of this woman that I would see every year, came to see her husband every single day since he was there. And I thought about, and he was not doing great when I left last year in February. And I thought about, like, I'm sure he didn't, she just got locked out. She couldn't go to see him. And he would be so used to her being there every day.
Oh, sure.
So,
listen, ladies, we've got to wrap up. The hour has blown by. Julio, thank you so much for joining us as well. And again, Julio's group is called Living with Parkinson's Daily. Lisa Hirsch, you can check out her Facebook page there as well that we talked about, and Kate Lau, she's all over Facebook doing all kinds of things. So again, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. I will give a shout out real quick to Maud's Awards. They are seeking innovations in Alzheimer's care, and it opens their awards applications open up Tuesday, March 2nd. So just go to maudsawards.org. And for me, just go to alzheimerspeaks.com. You can always like, click, and share. Please feel free to subscribe to our radio show. We have much more to offer if you go to the site as well. I want to thank everyone. And again, if you've been listening, maybe you'll be brave enough to call in next time we do an open mic. Take care. And
I have one thing, Kate. Kate, are we friends on Facebook?
No. We'll be friends now.
How do you spell your last name?
Lau. Lau.
Okay.
I think we're friends.
It's Kate. Okay, great.
No.
It's C.
What is it?
CATE.
Got it. I got it. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice talking to you all.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Love you, Lori. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
It's time to rethink, renew, and reimagine retirement. Hey everybody, Jared Sebesta here, host of Retire Repurposed. Now this podcast is about the non-financial parts of retirement, which many times can be even more challenging than the financial. We believe retirement is not the end, rather the beginning of what could be the most impactful, purposeful, and fulfilling season of a person's life. So don't retire, become repurposed. To listen now, search Retire Repurposed on your favorite podcast platform, Senior Resource, or Life Audio.